Welcome to the Morning Report, a production of fightbackmedia.com, the number one source of urban conservative information in America.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. I trust that you are well this glorious day. You know, a couple of years ago, a really good friend of mine, a really close friend of mine, asked me a question. And this is finally, I think, more of a complete answer than I was able to give him. Because he sort of asked me on the spur, and I was like, I think I just blurted something out. His question was, why have evangelical Christians glom to or support Donald Trump? Why do they support Donald Trump? And now, a few years removed, probably 4 years or 5 years removed, I have a more complete answer. So, my friend, it is a myriad of things. I don't think a lot of people will hold Donald Trump's past against him, and they shouldn't, because there is forgiveness. People do change, and people can change, and a lot of us have pasts that are like a little sketchy, right? A little sketchy here and there, and we don't want everybody to know about it. Most of us would not want everyone to know about our past what we know about Donald Trump's past. I think that's a fair statement. Now, on the other hand, I think there are things that are part of the left's this time, championed by Kamala Harris. All the things putting thumbs up because I'm pointing, but anyway, that are championed by Kamala Harris, that evangelical Christians, in my view, should naturally oppose. So we're going to go down the list. Most of these things you already know. As a matter of fact, I'm guessing that all of these things that you already know. All of things you already know. In a rally just a couple of days ago from here, it is the 25th of October. Got about 11 days or so, kids. Someone stood up at Kamala Harris rally and said, "Jesus is Lord." And she said, "You are in the wrong rally." I mean, she just said that off the tip of her tongue. It was like bang, off the top of her head, just said it. So what we know is, as evangelical Christians, is that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks, right? We know that. So whatever you're most likely to say to someone off the top of your head, it's kind of how you really feel. It's how you really feel. So there is, to the left, from the left, an open hostility to Christians. There is an open hostility. When 2 or 3 cycles ago, I think it was 3 cycles ago, the Democrat Party decided that they wanted to remove references to God from their platform. Yeah, that sort of shows that there's an open hostility to Christians, and a lot of evangelical Christians are politically active, and we know that. This is part of this person over here has not been openly hostile to Christians. Donald Trump gets the first thing. He gets the first thing, right? He gets 1 point. He gets a point. I think that a lot of evangelical Christians also understand that the constant influx of illegal aliens into the country is not a good thing. It's a bad thing. I think people other than evangelical Christians believe that, but I think that's a bad thing. They do. Donald Trump gets 2 points. I think that also that the LGBTQ plus agenda is antithetical to the evangelical Christian agenda. So one person behind me is supporting openly the LGBTQ plus agenda, and it's not this guy, it's this woman. And she leads what the agenda of the left, right? Here in Florida, there are two amendments on the ballot this time, Amendment 3 and Amendment 4, which are changes to the state constitution. Amendment 3 has to do with the legalization of marijuana. Now, we can have this really academic, erudite conversation about what we think pot is now and all these things. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of evangelical Christians don't believe that marijuana should be legal. This person hasn't really said one way or the other. This person is completely for it. And the people on the left we've seen these experiments around the country with pot and in the northwestern part of the country with a lot of other drugs, like in Seattle. We think that these are bad things. They are not good things, and they're all glommed into the left, right? They're all tied in there. And the number one reason for evangelical Christians is, and this is Amendment 4 on the Florida ballot, but in general, a discussion is abortion. This person is for abortion on demand, period, and probably paid for by the government. Paid for by the government, which means paid for by me, albeit indirect, but an indirect payment is still a payment. This person is not. So this is why, even with all of his warts, and he's got warts, no doubt, warts, because we like to think that the person that we're electing is perfect somehow, is somehow Jesus, just like people thought Obama was. They even called him Black Jesus, right? She is not, you know. And when Christian conservatives or conservatives refer to her past, people get mad. Why are they bringing up her past? Because when you brought up his past, it was supposed to matter. And they're still bringing up his past. The latest allegation of some terrible thing is 31 years old and completely unprovable or disprovable. You can't prove it and you can't disprove it. You just have to say it. So that's what they've done. So again, if you're wondering why evangelicals are glomming onto or supporting this man here, this is a little better explanation than when I gave you in the coffee shop, isn't it? Now, you still may not agree with it, or people may not agree with it or understand it or whatever. But it's the explanation that I have. So if I was supporting one of these two people, based on how I think about and what I know about the LGBTQ agenda, marijuana use, abortion, open borders, open hostility towards Christians, which means open hostility towards me. Whether you've actually come to me and banged on my door or threatened me if I actually went to church on a Sunday. Hell, we had our sheriff in my town where I live, in my county, arrest a pastor for having church. So don't think it can't happen. Don't think it isn't happening. A few years ago, it happened. It happened all over the country. Pastors went to jail for having church. It isn't necessarily who you're supporting, it's what you're supporting, isn't it? That's a better answer. It's not necessarily who, it's what you're supporting. That's what we're talking about. In any case, we got to get out of here and make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.